Field of the favorites, we here for the latest. South side or the north side, not tuned to the greatest. Home team for the home teams, both sides got our own rings. On the mound or the long ball, but we don't put the wrong strings. Yeah, it's that time of the year now. Wrigley or Gantee, so the whole league that we here now. New show with a new mood, discussions and interviews, straight rumors that might be. This is Pinwheels and Knife.
All right, you guys ready? All right, 3, 2, 1. What up, what up, what up? It is Thursday, May 9th, and you have found the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast. I am your host, Matt Zwaski, a.k.a. Southside Zoe, a.k.a. Father Zoe. That's the only – I'm only do 2 a.k.a.s tonight.
Ooh,
We're going to mix it up a little bit.
So just also known as.
Yes. Also, no. With me, as always, is the homie Aldo Soto.
Good news and bad news. Good news. Cubs are getting a little healthier. Justin Steele back. Cody Bellinger back. Seiya Suzuki coming back this weekend. Bad news. The Joe Girardi curse is back. Cubs lost their first home series at home this year. And it just so happens to be that it was Joe Girardi's first full series on Marquee. So we need to cut that shit out as soon as possible.
Yeah, I saw your tweet about that, and I remember you guys talking about it. So, yeah, that was...
It keeps happening. It started off as a joke, but, I mean...
We're all down gallows.
I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. Also, shout out to Michael Busch.
Oh, he had that locked and loaded.
For the game-winning walk-off
and
on Tuesday night. And the Cubs give credit every fucking foot of that, or they would have give
credit where credit's due. Our
shout out Tommy.
Our rotation guy is Tommy. He called it in the chat. He was sitting in the bleachers. He took a picture with a bush in his hand. He goes, what did he say? I was manifesting a Bush walk-off or something like that. And
like we had our little Michael Busch home run party a couple weeks ago. That's when he hit a home run in 5 games in a row. It was 18 games without a home run. So it was a while.
Yeah, no, he manifested the shit out of that. And what's up, the good Reverend K. Fids?
So my story is a little interesting. I didn't have any Busch Light in the fridge here on the West Coast. We don't always have access to Busch Light. So today I stopped at the store just to get myself. I was actually going to get a tall boy if they had it, or just a 6-pack, or 12-pack. Unfortunately, here in the not in the Midwest, here in Vegas, all they had was a fucking 30 Rock.
Yeah, so, welcome. Congratulations.
Now I have enough
Congratulations.
at least until the All-Star break for Michael Busch.
Congratulations. If that thing sees Monday, I'm going to be very upset with you.
It might not see Thursday. I'm just going to go ahead and dig into this bad boy while we're here.
But you got to mix it up. Just shotgun a couple of them. Okay. Just like on a whim. Just be like, oh, I'm 6 beers in. Maybe I should shotgun one of these. That's how you get through a 30 rack.
That's how you stay hydrated with Busch Light, too.
Exactly. Well, I mean, it is what it is. So we got some stuff to talk about, though. We are in full swing with the season. We got the White Sox suck, but there's stuff to talk about on the South Side, as this is really weird that's happening this season because the Marlins started it, but the White Sox are selling now too. I don't think it's like this massive sell-off that everybody thinks it's going to be, but there was a trade, so we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about my boy. My new boy. I just made him my boy about an hour ago.
Okay.
Ryan Ramos.
Okay.
I'm liking what I'm seeing.
You go.
I'm liking what
it's
I'm
been
seeing.
a while. We were desperate to find you a boy in spring training.
I had none. I was boyless going all the way up to May 9th. I didn't have a guy. And the thing is, he's playing awesome. He's doing everything right. And they're going to just demote him back to AA when Danny Mendick comes back. It's like, come on, guys. But we're going to talk about that. Speaking of minor leagues, AA, Birmingham is on fire. I'm seeing Birmingham getting brought up on national broadcast as one of the best farm teams in baseball right now. So
it makes
talk
you
about
think,
that a little
can
bit.
The Birmingham Barons beat the Chicago White Sox in a 3-game series?
Not going to answer that. And then on the Cubs side of things, Cubs have a lot of good problems, like what to do with good players when other good players come back. And they have arguably in my opinion, the most likable player in baseball right now, and he's dominating. So we're going to talk about all that and a lot more. But put a glide in your stride and a dip in your hip. Get on board the mothership. Let's tap this keg. As always, the show is brought to you by Sports Mockery, sportsmockery.com. Make sure you download the app, turn on push notifications so you'll be the first one to know when anything happens. Also, we are brought to you very happily by Homage.
I'm wearing one.
Yep. Go to the QR code in the top right of the screen if you're watching us live. If you're not, you'll see the code at the top of every article on sportsmockery.com. If you're looking at the screen right now, they got good gear, everybody. Top to bottom, this is the White Sox stuff here. Can vouch. Fabric is fantastic. True to size. Everything fits good. Look at this Bo Jackson shirt right there. Bam! But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff here for you old school vintage lovers. Look at this nice White Sox satin jacket. Get that stuff right there. Boom. So yeah, go Homage. QR code in that corner. And yeah, just do that. Sorry, I got distracted. Where do I want to start? No, not with him. Let's start with the trade because I thought that was really, I don't know why. I just think this is really weird. I think it's really weird that the Marlins sent the reigning batting champ, right? He won the batting champ last year.
Yep.
Luis Arias. Yeah. White Sox just murderer, Luis Arias, who went down to Miami, which was like, yeah, he's out of the Central. Now Miami realizes they're just as bad, if not worse, than the White Sox, and they don't have the farm the White Sox do, which is weird to say someone doesn't have it as bad as us. But they sent him to San Diego for a lot of good picks, a lot of good prospects. Big fan of what they got in return. Some of those prospects you might have.
Big fan of head.
Big fan.
Everybody loves
it. Everybody loves it.
Our guy James Fox was excited about the head in that return.
I wanted him in the C Steel.
Ooh.
Remember? He was one of the names that we brought up in the C Steel. But
I mean,
good for the Padres. I think it's a good deal for the Padres. I think it's, Miami's got to do something. I mean,
a quick note on that.
Yeah.
The Padres have just like all the prospects. I mean, there's like their 20th trade.
Unlimited prospects.
Unlimited years. Like they just keep getting guys. I mean, I guess they did trade Juan Soto to the Yankees, so they got a good return there.
And I think it said more about their developmental program, and obviously their drafting. But like it's just like a never-ending. Like just we got
like they gave up a lot a few years ago for Juan Soto, and then it's like it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, and I mean those guys that they gave up from Juan Soto are finally really starting to make a mark too. What's the shortstop?
Adams, he's been like Mackenzie Gore. I think has been pretty good too.
Mackenzie Gore has been serviceable. Adams has been really good.
I mean, they gave up a lot for Dylan Cease, but that's been worth it for him, as the Cubs saw.
Dylan Cease is balling this year. I think our friend Shy Sox fan Mike brought it up. He's like plus 270 now for the NL Cy Young.
Ooh.
No, it can't be that much. That's low.
That's really low. Yeah, it's like favorite.
I think it might be 720.
There's no way he's ahead.
I think I screwed up the 7 and the 2 there.
No, those are good odds.
But I think it's weird. Yeah, I think it's really weird that in the first week of May we're starting to see the bottomed out teams already starting to look to make moves. And Miami moving a player like Luis Arias that's a move that raises some eyebrows. Like, yo, okay, you guys really? First week of May, we're just gonna blow this shit up. And then the White Sox made a move not nearly as recognizable as the Luis Arias, but they sent everybody's boy, Grossman. Robbie
That's
Grossman.
World Series champion to you, though.
Yeah, and now he's going back. And I mean, I gotta think that like he didn't even like take a shit. They're like, Robbie, you're he's out. He's just out. They didn't even get he didn't even know where he was going. He got in the car.
The chair's like spinning still from how fast he got out of it.
The cartoon dust cloud. But yeah.
By the way,
he didn't even know where he was going. He ran into his Uber. He's like, just take me to the fucking airport. I'll figure it out.
We keep talking about Pedro Grifol every week, but like, god damn, dude, every single player that's off the White Sox immediately is to the meet. It's like, yeah, This team,
It
like no one's
sucks.
thinking about winning.
No.
Like we have a terrible mindset.
Yeah,
Every
Dylan Cease was like
single one.
Dylan Cease was the gif from that one show. Where he's like, I'm straight up not having a good time, dude. Like he said, his last year in Chicago was just brutal.
Like the Kevin Pillar with the Todd Frazier interview. Robbie Grossman right after he's traded, he's like, yeah, like it's definitely a different mentality here compared to other teams I've been with. I can't wait until Tommy Pham is traded. And he's like, yeah, guys, pull up a seat.
Yeah, I can see.
Let me give you some info.
It's weird, but I can see Eloy being like the guy that really blows it up. Because if you watch the progression of Eloy interviews, he is more and more a defeated man in every year, to the point where he's just like, I don't know. When they asked him, like, can you be a leader on this team last year? He's like, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Just leave me alone.
Yeah, he's like, hey man, I just want to talk to my mom.
Yeah, he's like, I just want to call my mom. Got a kid coming, dude. Like, fuck. But
he's like, I'm trying not to lose this like $17 million option.
I could see Eloy.
Yeah,
I just gotta start hitting, please. But so yeah, they traded Robbie Grossman to Texas for a guy, Anthony Hoopy.
It's a hopper.
Whoopie. What?
A hopper.
It's Hoopy. It's Hoopii. I'm gonna say Hoopy.
Hooped.
Hey, Chris Getz, start trading for guys with easier names here.
This is brutal. As soon as I saw the trade, I was like, I'm gonna die tonight. This is brutal. Anthony Hoopy Tuianatoa.
Okay.
Hoopii Tuiana in the toa.
Anyways,
It's hard to say. That's definitely
he's from Hawaii. Strictly a reliever. Like, there's no chance this dude's ever going to be a starter. He goes from the Mariano Rivera school of being a reliever, where he has just 2 pitches that he just focuses on and is doing good. His fastball can get up to 99. They said his slider can move.
Can it?
Can
you
move so good or frozo?
What?
Oh, frozo.
I said it moved. The slider moved so good it made you freeze.
So they said though that it moves almost too much, to the point where he has trouble getting it over the plate sometimes. So throwing it for a strike is a problem. But
Carlos Marmol action.
Balling out a little bit though this year. He had a rough ride. You know, he had a shoulder issue, and the pandemic kind of screwed it up. But he posted 9 scoreless appearances in Arizona Fall League during the offseason, and now currently he had a 0.00 ERA in 10 AA games to open the 2024 season. I think 0.00 is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, someone confirmed that for me.
That's just a batting average.
Instantly, as he came on the White Sox, instantly became on MLB.com their 28th top prospect.
There you go. That's a decent return for veteran.
For Robbie Grossman, yes.
Yeah.
So,
more important question. I mean, I guess good job, Chris Getz. You got something. A top 30 prospect. Good job for Robert Grossman. Nice investment, I guess, because it was a minor league deal. It's only he's probably got like less than $2 million prorated, whatever he's going to make for the rest of the season with the Rangers now.
Sam, I heard this is a thing. I'm sorry.
Who's getting more? Who's
going
to be getting more playing time now? Because Grossman was taking up some plate appearances.
So they called up the dumbest call up they could have. They called up Zach Remillard. Pedro has like some weird obsession with this dude. We're literally going to talk about how good things are going in Birmingham right now. Like, these kids are showing that they deserve a shot, or that should be promoted, or someone should be moving up, and they keep calling up Zach Remillard.
I mean,
like, it's like, dude.
Are they playing 40-man roster games? Like, what's like?
It's got some.
Not even. They had to select his contract. He wasn't even on the 40-man.
Yeah, they had to pick up. They had to select his contract.
They had to add him to the 40-man.
So I don't know what's going on with it.
I don't think. Okay,
so
I don't think he's going to be that good. But again, he's 26. He's barely gotten like his first real chance in MLB. Why not just call up the dude that got called down a few weeks ago? What's his name? Dominic Fletcher. Like, come on. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, call him up, or call up my boy. What's his name? The dude that was like lifetime All
well, no, come on. So that's going to be a September.
right, fine. But I mean, they got other guys that should be up like 100%. Like it was funny because in our little White Sox chat, someone posted the trade, and then the first comment was, "I wonder who they're going to call up. It better not be something stupid like Remillard or something." I was just like, it just happened. So, but this is the thing, man. I'm done giving Pedro breaks. I'm done with all that shit, especially after the shit I just watched tonight in the Rays game. Like all of this stuff does not fall onto these players. These guys, some of these guys are really trying to play their ass off. And then the White Sox have runner on first and third, one out. Ramos was the one on third. Obviously he called the contact play, bad ground ball to, I believe, the shortstop. He got pegged at home, but it was a contact play. Ramos was just doing what he was told. And then, like, maybe 3 pitches later, Tommy Pham is on first with Gavin Sheets batting, and Pham just goes. Clearly a hit and run. Pham's like staring through Sheets' soul as he gets thrown out at second base. And it's like, what are you doing, Pedro? Like, your team's struggling. You're brutal. I don't know. It's just shit like that really bothers me. That's on the coaching. That's the coaching. That's 100% the coaching. That's not the guys playing. That's the coaching, especially with a guy like Brian Ramos, who's 21, 22 years old, getting his first crack in the show.
Oh, he's
they
very
could tell
young,
that kid
yeah.
they could tell that kid to do cartwheels down the third baseline. He'd do it right now. So you tell him he's going on contact. He's going on contact.
So, White Sox national beat reporter Bob Nightingale had his notebook this past week. Robert Grossman obviously traded Wednesday, but he had a whole bunch of other names in there. It was like, Tommy Pham, Kopech, Eloy Jimenez, maybe a couple other pitchers, I think, in there.
Literally everybody but Luis Robert.
Who do you think is like next? Who's next? Who's Chris Getz dealing next?
Maybe Fetty or Flexen. Flexen had a really good night tonight. Like a night that you can he put a good night on tape tonight where he can.
I don't think it's gonna be a starting pitcher yet, just because you still need like guys to eat up those innings.
Then if we're going depth guys, Sheets actually might have some value right now.
Hey, we thought he lost all his value
Yep.
like a couple years ago. Remember when it was Gavin Bonds? He's made his return. He's hitting. I don't know if it's gonna keep up, but he's showing something. And who needs a lefty bat?
Everybody needs a lefty bat, dude.
No, but like,
who needs a stud right fielder?
Like the Mariners can't really score runs. I don't know why.
Yeah,
the Blue Jays get desperate. They kind of suck.
We got to find like a middle of the road team.
Reds, they kind of stink. So they're stinking it up.
Yeah, they stink. Ellie's just so good, but the Reds definitely stink. Ellie just stole 2 more bases tonight. Dude's just he like glides. It's fun. It's so fun to watch. Anyways,
he's amazing.
Gavin Sheets might have some value. I don't think Michael Kopech has they won't sell low on him. Like I keep saying, until he can get that fastball to move.
Especially he's not a free agent until after 2025, right?
Right.
Yeah. So if he keeps struggling, they're not, like you said, they're not going to sell low.
It'd be selling low on Eloy, but
that one's kind of like you're not going to sign him anyway.
Yeah, that's
like pick up
and everybody knows that.
Yeah. You kind of just want to get anything you can.
I don't know.
Tommy Pham, I guess. If you got Robbie Grossman for
everybody
got
says
a top 30 prospect, what can you get for Tommy Pham?
Tommy Pham, and I'll say it right now, Tommy Pham will get dealt to a contender. I don't know when, but he will get dealt to a contender. Because what does Tommy Pham do? Tommy Pham fucking balls out in the playoffs. That's what he does. He's built a career off it. He's Robert Horry of baseball. Like, he balls out in the playoffs. He wins. He's on teams that go deep into the playoffs. Tommy Pham will get dealt to a contender. Somebody will pick him up, even if he's a rotation guy for him. Fetty's going to get dealt. That's a done deal. I don't know where, I don't know when, but he's going to get dealt. Crochet, they won't. Basically, Luis Robert and Garrett Crochet are the only two I would say are untouchable.
It's fair.
Untouchable. Like, literally anyone on this team could dealt. And I think Getz actively wants to deal these guys. Getz wants to make this team his.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, you keep a Luis Robert on your team, who apparently had a hiccup in his rehab too, by the way. So he's coming back. Now they're saying late June.
I mean, just
Put him on ice.
just wait until the All-Star breaks. White Sox, like it makes no difference.
Yeah.
Just wait until mid-July. It's like
No rush. No rush.
you don't gotta go. You don't gotta do that.
I mean,
guess those are
their
the big names,
their
right? 'Cause, like-
their bullpen. There's no one in their bullpen that's like, oh shit, he's got some value.
Someone's
no
gonna
one's
get
been,
tricked
like-
though, because you know what I did though. I was looking up.
Leisure, but they're gonna keep Leisure because he came over with Nostrini.
Yeah, no, he's still young. Yeah, no, he's
yeah, they won't move him.
But someone's gonna get tricked by these ERAs because I was looking at some of the bad teams. I mean, Tim Hill, 2.92 ERA, lefty.
Goodbye.
Also,
Pack him up in his carton of Cools and send him on his way.
and very attractive.
The other guy that you guys from the Padres in the Cease trade, I think, right? Steven Wilson, 3.00 ERA.
So Steven Wilson feels like the type of guy that would get dealt. You know what I mean? Just like he's like a solid. He's not great, but he's not
Like I
going to
think
blow
he's had
it.
like previous success, right? It's not
Right,
like he's
and
like been a bad reliever who's all of a sudden good.
And he's a
or-
pro. He has the most like bland name in the history of names. He's a pro. He'll show up. He'll give you an inning or two. But I do want to add Leisure to that list because I don't think that they'd move him.
No, he's not getting dealt.
No.
I mean, what's that? Because I have heard about the Luis Robert thing. I didn't hear about the hiccup in his comeback.
It
but
just came, it was like a little blurb that Van Schorn like tweeted out.
any word on like Moncada? I know his injury was he was gonna be out longer. Anything on him?
I haven't heard shit about him.
Because that's another guy who, I mean, he's tied for the White Sox team lead in WAR. He hasn't
Right.
played in a month.
Dude, that chart is the most depressing thing in the world. I mean, Maldonado's still in -3.
Ugh.
And he plays more than Corey Lee. What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Hey, Party Young is going to be your all-star.
Well, that might be a guy. That might be a guy.
No, he
might be a
he
trade.
can get traded.
I can see him
If he-
going to it. Yeah.
If he can keep showing his because last year it looked like he was like near the end of his it was like, oh man, this guy just lost it. He can't hit the mistakes anymore. He's
No, he's
done.
showing pop.
But he's showing pop now, and they're
Yep.
just like Patrick Wisdom. Like a team's gonna want some of that.
Power is a very valuable commodity right now. And consistent power, and like you said, guys that can capitalize on mistakes. But again, like a guy like Paul DeJong, he's seen it. There's no situation that's bigger than him. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying he's like great or anything, but I'm just saying like he's not some 22-year-old kid that's gonna, shit his pants if the game's on the line or something like that. So you can get a guy like that if you're in the middle of a pennant chase. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Look, I'm not gonna sit here and say the White Sox are gonna clean up by trading all these guys because the guys we're saying they're not gonna get a lot back. But I will say you got to give credit where credit's due, and Getz got a pretty good return for Grossman. I don't know if that was Texas just really wanting him back. I don't know if we're going to find out in a week that this kid's shoulder's going to fall off. I don't know, but to get a guy that instantly goes into your top 30 for a guy that barely played, I'm not mad about that. I'm not mad about that. I'm not mad about that.
Yeah, I mean, there's the game plan. This is why you sign the guys to minor league deals, so you could hopefully get some young talent in a trade during the season.
Now, Can we talk about Brian Ramos? I want to talk about Brian. We're going to talk about Brian Ramos. Brian Ramos is my guy now. Official. Just another awesome Cuban player in the White Sox. We love our Cubans on the South Side. And 5 games, 5 hits, boys. 2 runs, 14 at 5 for 14. That's a 357 average, 375, 429 with an OPS of 804. He's got 1 double in those hits. But the thing that I really like, and Fids, I know you're going to be with me on this one. the kid watches the ball all the way to the barrel, and he has great bat control. He is hitting behind runners when needed. He's putting it where they're not, and you could just tell by his approach, though, if you watch him swing, he has great like barrel to ball like vision. You know what I mean? Like it's noticeable on the TV, not even like breaking down a swing in slow motion on, whatever. It's a good swing. He's only struck out once. Yeah, it tracks.
And that also is a sign of a guy that can, who's learning the strike zone, like that studies the strike zone. Guys that track are back in the day, I know, okay, I know it sounds stupid. When we were in Little League and 3-0, I want to show bunt, blah, 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 that shit, right?
The bunt dance.
It's not actually without its actual benefits. We track. If you're going to do that shit, by the way, that's why it drives me nuts when people just do it effortlessly, like without purpose. The purpose is you show and you track from hand to glove. That's your freebie. Now, when you watch a guy that tracks in other parts of his at-bats, you're seeing someone that's trying to establish what their zone is, what they are looking for in their little box. And let's be honest, that's a guy that's going to take some walks too. And that's a guy that's going to find his way on base.
Yeah, so. He took 1 walk, 1 strikeout in those 14 at-bats, 2 RBIs though. But again, he's not hitting like bombs or anything. His double was a nice one in the gap, but he's hitting
strafing
line drives to places where they're not. But again, just the fact that he's hitting behind runners when he needs to, the fact that you could just watch him looking into the ball all the way to the barrel. It's just, the kid's good, man. He's playing a good defensive third base. He's got a hell of an arm over there. I just really don't want them to be like, oh, Mendick's better, we got to put him in. No, dude. Let this kid ride this wave, man. Your team sucks. And this has kind of been like a rose in the concrete. You know what I mean? Like, let the kid just ball out for a little bit, see where it goes. I know he was struggling in Double-A, but maybe he was just fucking bored down there. I don't know.
It kind of reminds me, Kevin. Can you remember back in 22? I can't remember if Morel was like hot or not when he was. I think he was back at Double-A, maybe, or maybe he was still at Triple-A in 2022. The first time he was called up. But it was kind of a guy who, like, the guys paying attention, guys who are like day in, day out paying attention to the team's minor leagues. Like, they knew about the guy. Like, we've heard of Brian Ramos. Like, he's been a top 100 prospect in a couple lists. But, like, we talked about him last week, though, and we were looking at his numbers, and we were like, wait, this guy, I thought this guy was like
struggling.
one of the best prospects in the system, and his numbers look terrible.
He was hitting 182 in Double-A.
Yeah, like he had, I'm looking at it right now. He had like a 77 WRC plus. He was striking out 28% of the time. Like, the numbers looked awful. But hey, maybe he was hitting the ball hard, because like he's a lot of these. Like,
when PCA was hitting like doo-doo at AAA, and they call him up and he hits a home run in his first at bat, he swung it pretty decently, much better than he swung it at AAA, which is weird because then you get a Matt Mervis who fucking rakes at AAA
and then just the
hit fell out of a boat at the major league level. It's so strange. That's why you like guys like Pete Crow-Armstrong don't need AAA. They could just jump from double on up, don't fuck around, and that's what Ramos seems to be, is kind of.
Yep.
It just goes to show that.
Hold on, real quick. I want to answer Andy's question.
Why did
you say he has the dog in him? Yeah, he got the dog in him.
Maybe
he got the dog.
I was reading that and it just came out of my mouth too, and I said I meant.
He definitely doesn't have the Oscar Colas gene of Pedro.
So I actually finish your point, although, because I want to talk about how him.
The Ramos thing. I was just saying, like, because we were talking about it, and Double-A, his numbers look terrible, but just goes to show you that it's just so hard to scout the box scores, right? Because like you look at it and you're like, oh man, and then because I saw the call up when he was the guy who got called up, I was like, damn, okay, that seems kind of desperate there. I guess he's on the 40 man, so he's one of your options. But I was like, man, this seems like kind of like a rush job. Like, bam, he looks like your best hitter the first 5 games, or in his first 5 games.
Yeah. And
it's so hard to when you're not seeing like every at bat. It's just so hard to scout the stats.
I think that it's a very big thing where a guy like Ramos, he's been good his whole life, he gets pumped up, he sees his name on all this stuff, and then he's still in Birmingham, and it gets to a point where he's just like, oh, fuck, you know what I mean? Like it gets to something, But the good prospects, the ones that eventually make it, like I'm hoping Ramos does, when they do get their shot, they're able to turn that off and then turn back on the whole, like, I'm in the fucking show, let's go. Where I think a guy like Oscar Colas turned it off because he thought he was the shit. And he's Instagramming people and shit in the dugout and all that stuff. And then when he got up to the major leagues, he couldn't turn it back on. You see what I mean?
Speaking to that point, I've recently heard of, I can't remember who the athlete was, and they're like, yeah, the big difference makers, the guys who like separate themselves in any professional league, right, are the guys who, obviously all these guys, they work hard, they're talented to get to the very top of their profession,
right?
But it's to not be content once you get there, right? The guys who separate themselves, the guys who keep working at it, want to get better, and they're not just content to be like, all right, hey, I made it, I did it, I accomplished my goal, I'm set. It's like, no, you got to restart now. Now you're like you're at the bottom of the top level again. You got to keep working, you got to keep grinding, you got to try to improve every day in something a little facet. Take your failures, try to learn from them. And yeah, that's really the big difference maker with some of these, and it has to be tougher for the young guys, right? On a bad team, it's like, hey, I'm up here, I can prove myself. Like, keep me on this team because I'm better than XYZ down on the bench.
But there's a flip side to that too, where there's guys that like ball out in the minor leagues, and then they get to the show and they just piss down their pants. You know what I mean? Like,
it's so hard to say. Just like some guys, like Matt Mervis.
It's insane.
Maybe he's just not. Maybe he's obviously good at baseball, right? Like AAA, that's so professional baseball. He's playing, but maybe he's just not good to play with major leaguers. Like, that's what we're seeing.
And maybe under the lights, maybe under the larger crowds, maybe the whole experience itself is too much for some of these guys to handle. But the one thing you like about it is if it's someone that's like a 20, 21, 22-year-old, that as opposed to like a 25-year-old. And you've got some of these guys that can, a 22-year-old that can come up and not, the lights, back in the day, you used to call it, don't get caught the pinstripes, right? Or, don't get caught, in the lights. Are the lights too bright for you? And younger guys that come up and showcase that they can just go about the routine, which is why routine is so freaking important for all ball players, but especially young ball players. Because the mound is the same. The rubber is still 60 foot 6 inches everywhere you go, still 90 feet. Bases are large, but it's still what it is. And everything that you do is the same. And so you can go to a ballpark like Wrigley that's packed out and loud and raucous, but you can also play in a minor league ballpark that might have like 7,000 people there, and you can hear the crickets. So that's a good part of the development too for these young guys. But that's a good sign to see if you see a guy that does that. So that's something to keep an eye on with even Ramos. He's what is he, 22? 22?
22,
yeah, 22. Our buddy Drew sent me this. Like, come on.
Did you see though? I'm so happy that Major League Baseball, because remember, it was not Fanatics' fault; it was Nike's fault. That they're gonna they're readdressing this. Did they get any kind of resolution with that?
But I mean,
they won't have until next year, right?
That is that is the very rare under armpit to under armpit nameplate.
Pete Crow-Armstrong is pretty long, but that is longer.
That's and it's the apostrophes.
Yeah.
This that long name reminded me of just talking, announcing. What were you saying about what happened
tonight? Strand.
What happened tonight?
Yeah, with Striffing, because I didn't catch what was it. Chris was it a Chris Flexen?
Two things John did tonight. Actually, three things. I'm trying not to like pile on this guy. I really don't want to do that. You brought it up, so I'm going to say it. So one, he really needs to learn about 3-0 counts. Because Steve Stone actually you could tell Steve Stone's a little bit like sick of it now. And he kind of like dunked on him a little bit today. Because Randy Arozarena up. They're losing 4-1. It's the sixth inning. He's got a 3-0 count. And John's like, you think he's got a green light here? And Stone's like, no. They're down 3. They need base runners. Like, he said it like that, and it was just like, oh, John.
Oh God, that was like a scolding. Like, you're like,
what's his background then? Like, I obviously feel if you know where was he doing before this job? Like, was he doing like all sports? Like, was he basketball, football? That kind of guy that maybe isn't a baseball guy, and now he's almost like he's a really
I think he's good. That he's not a baseball guy. That he's learning.
I mean, he's
a
tough,
man. Like you said, Zoe, you don't want to pile on,
but.
Like, hey, you're on the screen. You're getting paid to do the job. It's fair to criticize. I always say it's fair to criticize.
Yeah, absolutely. And Steve
So
Stone,
that-
he'll be a freaking baseball genius by the All-Star break with Steve Stone sitting next to him.
He actually said that today. He's like, I get to travel with him. I get to team plane, team bus. Like I'm learning so much right now. So that was cool to hear him say.
I'd give a finger probably to be able
that'd be sick. But
to do that as a career, to just learn from Steve Stone every day on the road.
That's big. And then Chris Flexen, who pitched really well today. He pitched really, really well. Fastball was going for him. He was reaching back a little bit, but struck dude out to get the third out of the inning. And it was a fastball, high cheese. Guy swings late, misses, and then he goes straight flexing on him.
There you go. Come on.
No, it was. This is what we were talking about last week, though. It was so like forced, and just it didn't feel natural.
Trying too
so
hard.
I started laughing.
I think that's what it is, Kevin.
He's trying to.
Trying to.
He feels the pressure of White Sox fans. It's like me and Aldo get on here, and the White Sox fans are on here, and they're mean to us, and they tell us to pay attention to Cubs business and stay out of White Sox business.
He did
Liberace pictures up, and then that just never mind. No, it's fine.
I have no idea what you're saying, but he
senior in the chat. Where's that motherfucker?
Like, straight flexing on him. And I was just like, oh no, that's what I put in the Sox show. I was like, let's keep workshopping that, John.
Hello, my God.
That's what I was wondering. I'm like, all right, flexing. Like, what do you say about flexing?
And then, oh damn, Chris Sale went 6 innings with 2 strikeouts tonight.
Way big props to him, by the way. If he drops a fucking fam, but spells it with a PH, but he has to explain this.
But and then the third thing was there was a pop up and Ramos and Maldonado were going for it. And he goes, oh, and Ramos took that ball from, oh, wait, no, Maldonado's the one that caught it. I'm like, dude.
Maldonado don't. That's what he would probably say. I'm sorry.
While we are on the subject of announcers, Kevin, we've mainly talked about it jokingly, kind of, haha, Joe Girardi keep losing. It's Joe Girardi's fault.
Kevin's face just went 3 shades. Kevin's face is about as red as I am after half a bottle of whiskey.
But like, Kevin, like what?
Fucking squarehead.
Like, what do you think of Girardi in the booth? Like we've heard, take away the personal things that we've heard from Chasen about Joe Girardi as a manager.
Voice, he's got a little fucking whiny ass voice too. He sounds like a dum dum.
Booth, man.
Sorry, no, I don't. That's
no, just like in the booth, like. When you hear when you hear the full games with him, what are your thoughts on Joe Girardi, color analyst?
God, well, I mean, look, JD's great because JD's fun, but I'll say this about JD: him and Boog, when they're together, are absolutely running PR marketing for the Chicago Cubs. They explain away, a ball goes between the guy's fucking legs, like, that's definitely a hit. That was a hard hit ball. That's why it's a hit. Good job. But instead of just saying, you know what, that wasn't a hit, but oh well. They do they err way to the side, like, here's an excuse for everything kind of thing. They're always making an excuse when something goes bad. They're always obviously overly excited, which is great. It's fun for the fan base. We know Cub fans are like smelling salt.
Cub fans disagree. They think Boog is terrible.
Well, and then you get Girardi in there, who I think is just kind of too dumb to realize it, but he does kind of break down the game, but he doesn't do it in a way that I'm like, it's thanks Captain fucking Obvious. Yeah, we know it's a 1-1 count and it's a running count. Like you're repeating things that most people generally know at this point, but he's trying to sound intelligent. And he's trying to and again, when they get him into some of the stuff, well, maybe he was doing, I'm like, that's not, but
oh shit.
For me, he just drives. You know who I love when he's in the booth? The fucking Red Baron. Give me more of that. Give me more Rick Sutcliffe in the booth, please.
I knew that Paul Skeens was making his debut on Saturday. I didn't know it was against just the fucking Cubs.
Oh no, let me tell you, so the Cubs are.
I literally had. We're off the. We're just
and then the Pirates have this other guy. I forget his last name, but it's with the J, something J.
I didn't know it was against the Cubs. That dude is
the Cubs are about to be facing guys who just like throw 100 miles per hour like average this weekend. It's not fun. Cubs got Dylan Cease gave up an infield hit in 7 innings, struck out 12.
I've seen enough Dylan Cease games where I knew when he was feeling himself, and after that first inning or whatever, when he did the little belt thing,
Wow,
and
he
he
really
walked off,
he
I was
actually
like,
felt himself, like literally felt himself.
You guys are fucked.
Dick's out today, boys. Yeah, the Cubs offense. I mean, I said Cody Bellinger's back, and he had a great first game, went 3 for 4, home run. It is brutal out there for the Cubs. I'm going to make an excuse for them because they won't. They played 16 games in a row without an off day. That could affect things. Obviously, a lot of that was without Cody Bellinger, without Seiya Suzuki.
16 straight days.
So they do get an off day on Thursday before they go out to Pittsburgh. Maybe that helps resets them. Dansby Swanson's been terrible, and apparently he's had a knee injury. So good.
You guys,
I know it sounds bad to say, oh, good
Right,
that it's a guy that's injured, but at least you get something, right? It's like, okay, hey, you get hope that once he gets healthy, he'll be good again, right? Because otherwise, it's like, oh no, this is just bad now.
I mean, you guys have seen like videos of what this Paul Skeens kid is doing.
Oh, dude, he's filthy.
So I'm trying to avoid the Paul Skeens conversation.
No,
Here, I'll say this. This is what I like, is that it's his first ever start. So if the Cubs have to face this guy, he's going to have a short hook. Yeah, he's going to get he's going to probably capped at 70, 75 max. Secondarily, though, just maybe, I know it's in Pittsburgh, which actually makes it probably harder. It's always good to start a rookie on the road, I think. He could get diarrheas, man. He might be shitting it, he might get all those butterflies, and all of a sudden he's got bubble guts, and next thing you know, he's got pee butt in the clubhouse. He's, my parents are here, and everyone's here, and my butthole gets like a dolphin, and next thing you know, he can't throw strikes. The Cubs strike a little bit. They up his pitch count, and he's out after 3 or 4, and then they get to that shit-ass Pirates bullpen, and things go fine.
I like it, Kevin, and that's not out of the question. Right. When the Cubs were healthy, when everybody was rolling the first couple weeks of the season, even we saw him against some great pitching, the Dodgers, the Bobby Miller kid. He looked great in the first inning, and then he couldn't get out of the second inning. Cubs were all over him. They got his pitch count up. So I'm hoping, Seiya Suzuki had a rehab game Wednesday. I think another one Thursday. I think he'll be back. I think he'll be back Friday, at least Saturday. So maybe he's in there for the debut. So I'm not going to totally freak out. It's like, oh shit, top pitching prospect coming up. But it's definitely. I'm not like, hell yeah, we're gonna fuck you up, kid, because this guy looks really good.
No,
I ain't talking shit. But I do hope they fuck him up. But you want let a sleeping dog lie. Let the kid come in there, give him all the silence, because you know what? Silence probably gives him more bubble guts than you get him pumped up as an opponent. You just give him bulletin.
Is it in Chicago or in Pittsburgh?
It's in Pittsburgh.
I think that's harder. That's what I was saying. It's harder to start at home. That's why
I agree with you, Kevin, because it's going to be a bigger crowd because he's starting.
Yep.
It's a night. I do believe it's a night game. So more people are going to show up. It's a Saturday game. Maybe he does get too amped up, too much adrenaline, walks a couple guys in the first inning, blue pit falls in there, makes a mistake over the plate. Let's hope so. I'm just the Cubs offense right now, man. It's kind of 6 runs in 3 games, shutout Wednesday.
I know how that feels a little bit.
Before that, I mean, they won 2 or 3 against Milwaukee, but a lot of that was the starting pitching.
And wasn't this the problem
in games
that we had last year too? The Cubs actually were playing really good defense. They were actually throwing it pretty well, but we didn't have the consistent offense. Or was it vice versa? Was it the pitching last year?
The first half last year, they were just bad. They're just a bad team.
The offense eventually woke up, right? Because that's what got back into it. And the thought was,
there was starting pitching that was bad at the end. Yeah,
there you go. And the thought this year was that you had okay starting pitching, but the offense was supposed to be much
good.
Improved.
Yeah.
And it's I mean, Seiya's been out, and Cody's been out, but you're seeing the up and downs. I mean, again, in a world that requires Patrick Wisdom to play more than every 3rd or 4th game and not just be a pinch hitter, you're in a bad way, whatever the deal is. But that's because guys like Matt Mervis, when called up, failed. It's also because the Cubs did cut, although he's hurt now because he got hit in the fucking hand the first game he played for the Red Sox. Your veteran bat that's there to kind of help keep everything even keel when things kind of get a little bit hair crazy. And you're relying on a bunch of rookies to come out crazy. And this is why I lost my shit. I know I'm not going to go, outcome bias, because he wouldn't have been hit in the hand if he was still a Cub. But this is why guys like Garrett Cooper were so important to that clubhouse, because they're veteran guys. They've been here before. They know not to press, and they can at least keep the sails and the boat steady enough that it doesn't turn into these, this offensive drought things. never too high, never too low. That's what a veteran does. And that's why the veteran stuff was so important to me. We're seeing what happens. You don't have guys. There's not enough veterans to go around for these young guys. So how much time are they getting with some of these vets? Because the vets are spread themselves too thin. So when you have 6 or 7 rookies that are up that you're expecting to kind of produce offensively, what the hell, man? And especially with Belly and Seiya out, but Seiya's going to have some, obviously there's going to be a language barrier, him dealing as a veteran player compared to like someone like Cody. But now we're at this point where, you know, it's you can't count on rookies. You count on sure things and let rookies come in. And now Michael Bush is going to heat up here. I'm sure. I'm fairly certain. But
we better hope so. You got to get through that 30 rack.
Yeah, I do. Really do. I mean, can he help?
2 things. One, for some reason, when you said Belly and you kept saying vets, I just in my head now it's Belly and the vets.
Belly,
I can't stop thinking about it.
Speaking
Second
of
all,
Ben Zobrist was in the crowd Wednesday.
Second of all, it's victory lap time, folks. Because all you motherfuckers that came at me from Arizona talking about how Dylan Cease ain't shit, Dylan Cease ain't worth nothing, Dylan Cease ain't worth Alec Thomas, Dylan Cease ain't this. Oh yeah. Dylan Cease, who is currently in second place for most strikeouts in Major League Baseball. Dylan Cease, who has pitched 8 games and has a 2.19 ERA. No, the Diamondbacks wouldn't need that because they're chilling at 17 and 20. I know, and now I'm not going to say, I'm Alec Thomas, whatever. He's hurt. I get it. That's a Chicago dude especially. I'm not going to fuck with that. But Corbin Carroll sucks this year.
Another guy. Did you see what's happened to him?
Yeah.
Apparently, he sucks since like last summer. He got like some sort of shoulder injury. He has like the Chris Bryant thing. Remember Chris Bryant, 2018? Hurts his it was shoulder, right? For KB. He plays through it. Power just disappears because he's playing hurt. Like he's swinging with one arm. Corbin Carroll's been hurt for a while. That's why his numbers are terrible. His numbers are awful right now. Like he went from MVP candidate to not good. Injuries suck, man. One thing I'm gonna.
Real quick. Here fuck all of you.
Dylan Cease. I remember mentioning. I forget if it was. I think it was before. I think it was still maybe January. So before he was traded, when we're talking about maybe with the Dodgers, and I was saying how. And it was on the topic of, Dylan Cease. Obviously, he's shown the talent to be, Cy Young runner-up, but then he's kind of had the inconsistent seasons. And I was kind of, not leaning, but I would bring up how, like, if you take out that 2022 season, he's been good, but like, it's not like he's been like, top elite pitcher. But what if he goes to this different team, a different organization, and they do maximize his talent, right? And then even if the White Sox do get a solid return, which right now it seems like they've gotten a pretty solid return with Thorpe.
It's a good deal.
But like at the end of the day, it could still seem like the White Sox get fleeced because a team, you get a brand new pair of eyes on them, a team with a different philosophy or whatever. Dylan Cease, I was looking at the number. His walk rate has gone down. It's gone from like 4 walks per 9 inning to 3 walks. And what does that mean? Fewer pitches. What does that mean? More innings pitched. And that's exactly what the White Sox fans kept saying for years. It's like, man, this guy could really reach the next level. It's just the damn walks, right? Or like that one bad inning. And guess what? He's doing it. He's limiting the walks now. And you're seeing, he's back to that 2022 form where, White Sox fans are looking at it around like, fuck.
No,
maybe we could have gotten more.
Somebody said that to me when I tweeted something about I want Dylan Cease back or whatever. But someone's like, "Oh, I can't believe we could have this ace right now." No, dude. Like that's one of those trades that sucks, but it has to happen. Like Dylan needed to get out of the South Side, and obviously he was having a shitty ass time here the last year. And that's like that meme of the Ferrari next to the trailer. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like there's no point. And so fly, just let him go. And you got a good return. And that's what you're trying to do right now is build. The Padres got what they wanted, which was a ace, to help them with their attempt in the West. It's a win-win deal right now. I mean, it sucks, yeah, but what's Dylan Cease changing on this White Sox team this year?
Right. No, I think if anything, it's more whatever. Or at least this is how I would take it. If I was a White Sox fan taking it, it would be more of a frustration. Like, man, we had this guy. Yes, he had the great 2022, but like we couldn't keep that consistency going. And again, sometimes it does takes a different organization, a different philosophy to get guys back on track or whatever to the next level. And I think we're seeing that with the part. But again, it is 8 starts. So, but again, he does have that 2022 season that you can go back and it's like, yeah, this guy definitely has the talent to be in the league.
If I wasn't super lazy, I would. I'm actually, because you guys don't even know, Petty Zoe can get real petty. I'm gonna search for that tweet, and everyone that replied on that tweet's about to get a little message. So I'm just like me. I'm gonna take a picture of me smiling. I'm just gonna reply to him. Fucking assholes! You don't know ball. You don't know ball.
Kevin, what do you? So say he's coming back this weekend. It's either gonna be Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, I'm curious as to your answers.
What? Yeah, because like Pete Crow-Armstrong, like we said, came up. He's playing solid defense. He's hitting. He's not like hitting like 350 or whatever, but he's been okay, steady, couple hits here and there. Like he doesn't look terrible, right, at the plate, which was, as we know, we know that the bat is still a little behind compared to the rest of his game. Who gets sent down? Because Alexander Canario, who was barely getting played, so this wasn't even a David Ross thing. Just Cubs didn't really want to play him. He already got sent down earlier this week when Bellinger came up. What do you do? What do you do? Mastrobuoni?
Just Cody can play first base, so you're not overwhelming the outfield, and you're not, Wisdom and Cody can both.
Didn't even think of that.
In and out. Mastro Booty, bye. I don't, you're left-handed bat. Thanks, but we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other lefties in the bat. Choose from, no problem. Mastro Booty goes. It's fine. The other question, and this is what I like about Pete Crow-Armstrong, man. And I know you hate bunts, but dude's laid down a few bunts now at this point. And I love the fact that he tries. He's looking.
I love bunting.
I like him sometimes. There was one this week that I was like, Peter, what are you doing?
He also looks. You know what he's doing though, and I like it because he's checking depth. He's checking to see is there a glitch in the matrix with the defense? Is somebody asleep? Like it happened yesterday to Chris. Love him. I'm not. This is not a criticism of his defense because he's been great. We can talk about that in a little bit too. But he saw. I can't remember who it was with the was it Woodworth with Padres, and he saw Christopher Morel was sleeping. He was just in a bad spot.
Bernstein
Pre-pitch, and he dropped a bunt down, got a hit. And it started at the beginning, didn't it? I think that was that.
That was the sixth. Shota got out of it, but it got runners at first and second with 1 out.
So stressful pitches. Yeah, and that's the thing that I like seeing Pete Crow-Armstrong do because he's looking for the vulnerabilities and. Eventually, he's going to find them. And when he does, they're going to adjust their defense. Maybe they have to draw in a couple steps because he's fast as shit and he's getting it where he needs to. And then all of a sudden, he hits a nice hard ground ball and they miss it by a step because they're so drawn in because of worrying about him laying one down that he actually increases his field size and he's able to put the baseball through. And that's what I like about what he does. Plus, yeah, his defense and his base running are invaluable. I think he's probably the best base runner besides maybe Cody with the major league team. And I think that he's obviously, you can remove Cody from center field, throw him over at first, or whatever, or you can just keep everybody's reps down as far as defense. You can have Cody DH one day and, Bush at first. Yeah. Crow-Armstrong in center. Then you can put Belly in center. Crow-Armstrong takes a day off and then you could switch Belly to Bush, et cetera, et cetera. And, it's a really nice, that they could be a nice little triad together, but not too much, not starting them every day. Yeah. Letting Pete Armstrong have maybe a day on, a day to think about it, 2 days on, a day to think about it.
I think at this point, you definitely sit him against any lefty starting pitchers. Like you don't want that.
Correct.
Kevin, I was going to ask you, since he's been up, it's been like 3 weeks. Have you noticed anything swing wise? It's like, hey, this is why he's doing a little better, or it's like, hey, this is why he's still having trouble with some of the strikeouts. Anything stood out with his approach or swing? Anything?
I think that when he's at the major league level, he has pitchers that actually hit their spots. And at AAA, you don't necessarily get that. And so when people are trying to make the pitches they think are going to beat Pete Crow-Armstrong at the major league level, they're hitting those spots, and he hits those spots. So like he's not seeing mistake pitches where you're going to be more inclined to see mistake pitches at the lower levels because of command issues. And so with him, they're trying to make the pitch at AAA and they miss their spot. And that's what he struggled with. Now you get to the major league level where the same approach, they miss those spots, they hit those spots, and he's fine because he's actually where he's supposed to be. Sometimes you can literally chalk up it to being bad competition. Not really, I'm not saying bad, you know what I mean? But in retrospect, in comparison to the major league level, that can all of a sudden, it's just like a pitcher. Pitchers hate, pitching at AA because some of those guys, they don't have veteran pitchers. They don't have an approach. They're just free swingers. So you're like, I'm playing the chess game. I'm going to beat this guy. We're going to set up. We're going to move their feet and then change their eye level. And then we're going to
just swinging at every pitch.
Yeah, they're just like, I'm swinging. Yeah, and so it makes it hard. But it's also the reverse for guys like Pete Crow-Armstrong who have an incredible hand-eye coordination. They're swinging where the ball should be, but these guys are missing. And I did think he was guessing a little bit more too. But he, I think that he's more set for the spotlight too. I think he ups his game just to play with a larger crowd, with a little more of a spotlight and that hum.
Yep.
And that's what
he seems like the type.
It players. They draw that energy.
Yep. So, quick question. Mm-hmm. Where does Pete Crow-Armstrong rate on your punchable face meter?
It's pretty high. It's
pretty high on mine too, though. Don't feel bad.
It's pretty high.
Fucking little He's our dick.
His mustache is a thing.
Big time. Like, do you know who my dad is? Like suburban. Like gets in a fight with the bouncer type vibes.
Throws his PlayStation controller.
There was a point in his time. There was a time in his life where he wore 2 polo shirts at the same time.
And popped one of the collars.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I don't know. He might be too young for that.
I was gonna say he's only like 22 now.
Yeah, but
I hope that died down by the time he was wearing polo.
When he was 8, his mom dressed him that way, probably. Hollywood.
No, I feel like that had to have died down like end of 20, like end of 2000s, early 2010s,
2012 probably. I remember a guy we called Baby Hands who was actually a really good dresser, but he had literal baby hands. And he used to always pop the collar, and that was like 2012, 2013, I think. His name was Tristan.
Tristan Thompson? Oh, so's out of here.
Not Thompson.
All right, Kevin, let's get to it. Christopher Morel. First, what was that stat? It was like the first 3 games or first 5 games. He had 4 errors. Mm-hmm. No errors since. He looks a lot more comfortable. It seems like he's doing what Nick Madrigal did last year, and I made fun of him for it, but it worked for Nick Madrigal, and it's working for Christopher Morel. Well, he gets it, takes a couple shuffle steps, and then just lets it sling across the diamond. Good. So he did have the throwing error the other day on, he just tried to let the ball, or I guess it was an infield hit error.
They probably called it a hit. There's a lot of bailouts going on right now at Wrigley.
Yeah. Well, no, I think it was an error because then, or who knows? Whatever the point is, Christopher Morel has improved, which is what we were hoping for. And it looked brutal the first week. And we were like, holy shit, man. This could not be going worse. But surprisingly, he's turned a corner. I mean, he's looked okay. He's looked good.
We said we needed average, at least just average, right? Mm-hmm. And he was so bad. And look, this is what happens, though. And this is why I was so gosh darn pissed off, and the stuff that I heard about what he did in the winter ball. He didn't take the offseason that seriously. He didn't put in the work down in Mexico. He had a great time. Good for him. He came to spring training, and he was late getting in his reps. Now, because of everything, he is forced to take these reps every day. And we saw some of it actually became at the expense of his offense because he was playing exceptional defense and couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat for like 10 days, 10 straight games. It was bad. But he was putting in that extra time. And there's a couple ways this can go. This can go, the light turned on, holy shit. This is, I guess, the results of putting in the time, making sure I get all my ground ball reps and then go to the cage. And yeah, maybe it might take an extra hour and a half of my day, but you know what? Fuck it. Let's get it. Or it could be a Tim Anderson thing, which he one good season where he put in the time. Tim Anderson did one season. He put in the time to prepare himself. And he actually looked like a decent shortstop defensively. And then they all went back to shit again because he stopped. That's where I get the concern is these guys, because they love to hit And he struggled and struggled and struggled at the plate, but was working on his defense and played excellent defense, better than average, in my opinion. And he just, all of a sudden, he started taking pitches. And all of a sudden, he started showing maturity. And he started having good at bats while still playing good defense. And we talked about it in here a bunch. He's, the more, he started walking, those are going to pay off eventually because it alters how everyone approaches him. And now all of a sudden, now he's doing both. And this is what, I don't think he's got staying power at third. I really do think that Shaw's going to take over eventually. But I think that right now, for what the Cubs need and what Christopher Morel is doing, his offense is so exceptional. He's exciting. He's fun. He sells tickets. He's got a lot of things that check a lot of boxes for what teams like to market as well. He is ready. Like he's actually playing multifaceted baseball. Now his base running is still dog shit, but he's still playing really good defensive and offensive facet baseball. And I love seeing this. You guys know I've been a big doubter of the defense. But there's the thing about defense is the minute you stop working, it becomes blatantly fucking obvious. And so he's got to keep working or it's going to be blatantly obvious that he stopped working. But we said it, he's either a bad athlete and he's not very defensive. He's not good at defense. We know that's we know that's bullshit. Or he's a freakishly good athlete, which we can see, and he wasn't putting in the time because you can't be that gifted athletically and play that poor of defense. And what the Cubs have done, just like they did with Madrigal, is they got their hands on the kid. They explained footwork to him. Footwork is the king of laziness. That's probably the number one indicator of laziness, I think, to me at least, is that your footwork. If your footwork is lacking, it shows you're not putting in a lot of the time. And he has, and his footwork's gotten better. Like you said, he's eliminating the distance between, on his throws. He's giving himself. He's not rushing stuff, and he already makes the athletic plays. Even when he's playing shit defense, the reaction plays he's insane good at. He's already there. So now he's doing the consistent routine stuff, and they found ways to help eliminate or just get in his head a little bit. Maybe those extra 2 steps are the new thing that it's kind of like a pitcher's delivery, right? Maybe you change a guy's delivery. Maybe you make him to go out of the stretch instead of out of the windup, all the time. They did whatever they did with his footwork, and now he's seeing the fruits of it. And then, of course, the buy-in comes, and he starts buying in. He sees the fruits of his rewards, and he buys in more, and he starts, Coach, I need some more reps. Let's go. I'm waiting. Now he's the first one on the field waiting for reps. I think that it all begets everything. And I think, we were very hard on him because he was shitty. And the fact that everybody was on him had to be some motivation for him to go out there and say, all right, I'll do it. And he's doing it. And we can lay off of him now. And, but unless he lets up. I mean, honestly, Dansby Swanson's and Nico's defense has probably been worse than his.
Right.
That's
Hold up a second. So at the 1 hour mark, we got to start doing this now. Just remember, everybody, the show is brought to you by Homage. Make sure you scan the QR code in the top corner over there or at the top of every article on sportsmockery.com to get 15% off your first order. White Sox gear, Cubs gear, Bears, every team, literally every team. Great quality fabric, true to size, fits well, you feel good, look good, you feel good, you play good. It won't make you as handsome as me, but it's a good start. So
you know what I'll say about these shirts too?
Homage.
They retain armpits really well. I wore one to Disneyland, and that day when you've done a whole gosh darn day on a school bus, or not a school bus, but like a bus with teenagers, and you do Disneyland all day until 10 p.m. and then you come home and you're back at 4 a.m. and you're wearing that same shirt, and you're gonna smell like Vienna beef sausages, and it retained really well. I got home and I smelled it, and I'm like, I was actually expecting this to be gosh darn ruined, and they really retained.
That's a really good testimonial.
On the website.
Homage, whatever you want to call it. 15% off, good quality clothing. A lot of different colors, which I like because you can put it different little fits going on with your shoes and everything. Jack, I see you out there. But yeah, 15% off. Now, I know you guys talk about Morel. Are you guys done with Morel?
Yeah, good, better.
Okay, good. Yes,
good.
All right, good. Well, I just want to, because it was on my list of things to talk about. I want to make sure I talk about it because I know last week, although me and you went down and we looked through the White Sox farm system a little bit. Birmingham,
we found some heroes.
Birmingham went and had themselves a week. Like these boys got Brooks Baldwin.
Brooks, great baseball name.
Household name, shortstop for the Birmingham Barons. 100 at bats, batting 364, 423, 485 with an OPS of 908. Not a pop guy. 1 homer, but 9 doubles. Brooks Ball. I'm just gonna start ripping names of guys that should be up instead of Zach Remillard. Wilfred Veras, 100 at bats, 343, 359, 545, 904 OPS. Duke Ellis, 53 at bats, 283, not great. Tim Elko, everybody's favorite power hitting first baseman. Andrew Vaughn sucks balls right now. 91 at bats, 264, 302, 429, 731. That's a lot of strikeouts, bro. And then last but not least down here, because we're talking about the deals, Edgar Quero, the catcher. We currently have a catcher that is a -3 WRC plus. -3, folks. But Edgar Quero, 90 at-bats, 247, 324, 483, 807 with 6 home runs, leading the team. I get it, man. I get it. But, like, there's kids that are putting up numbers in the farm. The farm's looking really strong. And you're rolling out a guy who's already past his prime. We all know it. He's on a severe downslope in his career. He's carrying a -3 WRC plus, and he's still your primary starter. I mean, for fuck's sake, Corey Lee's having a decent year. I feel like a fucking broken record on this show. I don't get it.
Maldonado has to be like DFA soon.
I don't understand. Like
the only argument, I haven't dug into the numbers. I don't know if somebody has written about it or what. It has to be like, oh man, like pitchers are just amazing with him on the mound. Because otherwise, what are you doing? That's the only argument.
And then people are talking about how Getz has this plan, and there's a plan. Someone tell me the fucking plan.
Well, we're gonna rob Bellagio, the MGM, and the
right.
Oh wait. Let's get to the
Do we need 10? Should we get one more? We should get one more. But it's dude. Like, I don't know what this plan is. I know the farm's looking really good. Again, I'll keep saying it, and that's great. But your major league product.
That Jay Kuda tweet where it was like White Sox offensive ranking among
12 categories.
Last
in 12 categories, dude. 12 categories. They had a fluke game today on Wednesday, 4-1 versus the Rays, because Chris Flexen pitched the game of his career.
Flexing on him.
Flex.
But I just don't get it.
So the catcher stuff, that's frustrating. I mean,
Andrew Vaughn sucks.
We saw it last year with Tucker Barnhart. You bring in a guy you think he's going to be not horrible, and then he ends up being horrible, and then you DFA him eventually. For the White Sox, that should come a lot sooner than it did for the Cubs last year. Because at least you do have Corey Lee, and then you have Quero, who's tearing it up in the minor leagues, and he'll probably get promoted soon to AAA, and then he's a step closer there. But other guy, I read B-Flow's story in the morning about Benintendi and Vaughn, and he was talking about how, and he put in their baseball savant pages, where it's like, well, hey, maybe they're hitting into some bad luck, right? No, they're just bad.
There's bad outcome there. It's not good.
It's bad. And there's again, it's only been 6 weeks into the season, about 5-6 weeks. And it's like, okay, like
it's so bad.
They're not going to be like this awful.
Say, this is why.
They're not going to be this awful, but at the same time, it's not like there's no signs of them even getting close to average. So, like, do you start
Andrew Benintendi say one more time? Who else are you going to play?
I don't know.
The bench is terrible too. The only change, exactly. Dude, if I have to hear Andrew Benintendi say, this is why you play 162. No,
you give Gavin Sheets all the starts against right-handed pitching. Andrew Vaughn, buddy, I'm sorry, you suck.
He got 2 hits today. You stop. His comeback campaign has begun in earnest.
Did you see the hits?
This is what we get for trying to hype up Andrew Vaughn last week. We were like, hey, Andrew Vaughn, 5 hits in like 4 games. He's coming back, and then he just sucks.
Yeah.
That's why I told you guys should have drafted Bryson Stotts. See, God.
Zach Remillard currently carries a WRC of 10.
Hell yeah.
I mean, he's only had 5 plate appearances, but he's 0 for 5, man.
Stay
So
hot.
I think the other point that Beef was making, and I kind of agree, is like, okay, forget about that. Andrew Benintendi is your highest paid player. Forget that Andrew Vaughn has this pedigree of being a first round pick, and you want him to be your future first base. Or I mean, that's kind of out the window the way
No,
it's looking.
dude, he is very bad.
At the bare minimum, like move him down in the order. Or like, what do you think, Zoe? Like,
Andrew
what
Vaughn
do
should be
you
bad
even do
tonight.
with these guys? They
You
suck.
get rid of him, man. Andrew Vaughn's currently carrying a WRC plus of 37, and he's a fucking -1 WAR.
See, this is where I get ticked off, though. This is where he's getting no help from Griff Hall because he should have been pushed down. He should have been probably pushed down 2 weeks ago. There's no indignity in hitting 7th for a little bit till you get your shit back together. And he keeps throwing him out there in a spot that's, I don't know. It is about writing a lineup protects guys, especially guys that you think, but maybe they don't. Maybe they think the writing's on the wall.
But that's what I'm saying, Fitz. Who's gonna fucking protect him? This whole lineup sucks.
So the lineup's so
There's
bad.
no protection. There is no protection
And that means
anywhere in this lineup.
God resist the urge to bring up Colson Montgomery to play with.
They put Tommy Pham at fucking leadoff today. There's no protection in this lineup anywhere. And if you watch the Sox game, which I know you guys shouldn't, I don't know why you would. I struggle through it, but every Sox game, it's like someone's putting a quarter in and playing the same damn song on the jukebox. Wow, Tommy Pham is a professional hitter. He has come in here and shown his professionalism. Oh my goodness, we have this. It's just every fucking time they say the same thing over and over because there's nothing to talk about.
It's like you're watching. It's like you're playing MLB The Show, and they only have the
that's
two or three.
a great way to put it. It's a perfect way to put it.
Cadence.
But and I get it, and I'm not blaming them for that because they can't get on the mic and be like, "Oh, this fucking guy again." Like they can't. You know what I mean? I get that, but
I wish they would. That'd be fucking
there's
great.
nothing
Drunk
to
in the
talk
booth
about.
like Bob Uecker. I'm in the.
I would love it. If Steve Stone knows he's going out and he just gets hammered the last month of the year, it'd be fucking great.
Oh man,
I want the two of them to eat an edible before a broadcast. That would be a fucking day.
Yeah, you got to get Bill Walton back on the broadcast.
Steve sounds like give me that milkshake.
Andrew Vaughn and Andrew Benintendi both carry a WRC plus of 37 and both are -1 WARs.
That hurts.
Benintendi brought here for his defense -4.6 DWAR.
Benintendi literally had it was the stretch of 5 games that he hit those 3 home runs.
He had
two
2 good hits.
Everybody
was 2 good hits today. And his first hit or his second hit today hit the top of the wall. The outfielder played it wrong. Any other outfielder in baseball, that's a triple. He rounded second and just stopped. It's so many little things, dude. And what did I say over and over and over again before the season started? Oh, I'm looking forward to this because they're not going to make the fucking little mistakes anymore. We're going to see good fundamental baseball because that's what the bill of goods that got sold us. And I fucking fish-faced it. I took the hook. I took everything and fucking thought, oh, okay, they're going to be playing good today. Oh, there's going to be no more of this error baseball. It's going to be error-free baseball. It's Little League shit, man. Little League shit again, over again. Base running, bad. Fielding, bad. Hitting, non-existent. Coaching, bad.
I was thinking about the Robbie Grossman trade right now, and I'm like, man,
I'm telling you, dude, they probably went, Robbie, your truck, and they got that much out, and he was in the Uber.
But I was just thinking about how you know that play that they keeps playing, that they keep showing where he trips over himself in right field against the Phillies.
Yep. Yeah.
He's probably like, man, fuck this. Like, I've been in the league for almost a decade. Like, I'm not that awful. And that's all I'm going to be remembered for. I'm like, this play on one of the worst teams in 2020.
No, but see, you know what? It's actually good that it happened on this team because the team has already had so many fucking bloopers and so many shit plays that's not even the top reel. It's going to get buried.
It is. That's the one that keeps playing. That's like, how bad are the Chicago White Sox in 2024? And the first video is Robbie Grossman tripping over himself.
Give Gavin Sheets some time in right field.
2 questions.
Oh, that's true.
Are they playing hard this whole time? Are they playing hard?
So we talked about this last week, Fids. I don't know, and I think that's a tough thing for fans to be like, oh, he just gave up. No, dude.
Yeah, it's hard.
Guys like Eloy Jimenez is playing for his livelihood, man. He's got his option coming up. maybe I think Eloy's pressing to him. You really saw it today, dude. He hit this pot. He had runners in scoring position. He popped it off the top of the bat, and his face, he's pushing way too hard. At that point, he's like, give him a weekend off. Let him go home, see his wife and kid or something, because he is just he's pushing, dude. He had 2 balls today that were both like 113 miles an hour off the bat, and one of them was a single. The other was a line out. Like, that's just how he's going right now.
Gotcha.
But it's just I just really think it's unfair for us as fans to be like, oh, this guy just doesn't give a shit.
Okay.
We don't know.
Second question.
We don't know.
Second question.
Mm-hmm.
Are they having fun? Because really, it's about the friends.
That I do know. No, they're not. That I do know, and they're not. They 100%
How's the
are
team
not.
chemistry, though? Are these guys coming together in the club? Are they building a good culture? Because that's all we heard too. It's like, hey, we're gonna have a brand new culture in this clubhouse. We got rid of all the troublemakers. I am Pedro Grifol, Chris Getz. We have a new culture.
So, Dylan Cease is probably one of the most chill people in Major League Baseball. Like, a very go with the flow.
Get him out of the club,
asshole.
I'm happy to be here. I get paid to pitch, so I can fund my hobby as a frisbee golfer. Like, he's just that, you know what I mean? And so for him, and he said it in such a Dylan Cease way, where he's just like, I really did not have a good time last year. I wasn't.
When Chris Bryant said he wasn't having fun, and like through his injuries.
It doesn't mean he hates them. It just means it's not fun right now. It sucks to lose, or it sucks to be hurt. It's like
I just
out of context.
So here's the thing, though. If it's that bad in there, just start bringing up fucking kids, man. Bring up guys that are hungry for this shit.
But do you want to bring those kids to fans? Bad environment.
Newsflash to fans.
You gotta flush and build. Flush and build. And like I said, go ahead, Fitz.
I was gonna say just newsflash. Losing fucking sucks. And when you have to do it over the course of 162 games, over the course of a hot summer, and all the travel and all the bang ups and all the blood and all the sweat and all the tears and all that. If you're not winning, if you have a baseball player that tells you when they're on a losing team that they're having fun, run because they're shit. Okay. Yeah. So for these guys to say, I didn't have fun last year, they're not saying I hate the White Sox and I hate the fan. Fucking suck, man. No. I don't like to lose. So losing sucks. So that's
a good point.
It fucking sucks. That's
a fair point. Because if Dylan Cease was like, yo, last year was a blast, it's like, no, dude, you lost 100 games. Like,
I wouldn't want a guy saying that. It was so fun. I was like, no, I want to be like, that shit sucked, dude. I hate losing. I was on a team that won 5 games in a season. It was the worst fucking season of my entire life.
Like, that I will say,
coming to the ballpark every day sucks.
The point I wanted to make, though, and Fitz, I said this last week, and I want to reiterate it now. When I keep saying bring up the kids, if you're going to do that, you need to get rid of Pedro.
Okay.
Just to all those points, do you want the kids coming into this?
And then hire Christensen?
I don't give a fuck. They can hire me for all I give a shit.
No, remember, we had this figured out like a few weeks ago.
No, get him out of here,
Martin Maldonado is going to become...
Take his -3 WRC plus asset.
The bench coach. Montoya is going to be the interim manager.
You're part of the problem. If you're on the bench and it's happening under your watch, you're part of the problem. I'll always go with that. I'll say that as a coach. If I'm on a team that gives up and quits, and they keep quitting on us, then it's on me. Even if I'm not the head coach, I don't give a shit. I'm the staff. It's my fault too. Period.
If I woke up tomorrow and there's a tweet from the White Sox saying we've relieved Pedro Grifol and blah 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 and blah 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 and blah 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 of their duties, I'd be very okay with that.
I relieve myself of duties in the morning.
No, I'd be very okay with that, because then the next tweet better be like, and we're calling out Colson Montgomery. And
you do it, just a purge. Just bring all of them up.
That's what I'm saying. Just do it.
Just open up the floodgates. Fuck it.
But
that would be so revolutionary, though. But that's not the White Sox.
In order to do that, you need to. The step one, without a doubt, is you need to get rid of Pedro.
I mean,
speaking of plans that have, it's only been one start, but plans that have kind of backfired. And like the Martin Maldonado plan was, it was like the Robert Grossman one, except for you didn't have to pay Martin Maldonado $4 billion. I don't know why Chris Getz did that, but he tried to bring him in there, trying to flip him at the deadline for something, right? But obviously that doesn't look like it's going to happen because Martin Maldonado sucks. Mike Clevenger made his first start this week. Talk about being bad on the mound. he didn't strike anybody out. He didn't get a whiff, I think, right? Nobody swung and missed. He walked 4 or 5.
Can't say the same for. Never mind. Bad joke.
So
And obviously, there's all the other shit that people hate about Mike Clevenger, and then this guy just goes out there
That's why it's weird seeing him not getting any swing and misses.
and stinks it up.
that's why I tweeted one tweet I had out there that was like, the hill people die on will always fascinate me. And like, I see like these people like responding to Missy and Herb and all these people like, I'm going to go buy a Clevenger jersey just to support a guy that's turning his life around and shit like that.
It's a very sarcastic.
And then he has like a bad
grudge support.
He has a terrible first outing where he just looked like shit. He had no control. There was no oomph on any of the fastballs. There was nothing. And to see people being like, oh, it's his first game back, he's going to be okay. Motherfucker, do you realize that every team in baseball had 2 shots at him? Not just 1, 2, and they all passed. There's a reason. It's not because of his sparkling personality. It's because they couldn't get rid of him at the deadline last year, and then he was a free agent all offseason. No team wanted him. And yet the White Sox, for some reason, in the midst of a historically bad season, were like, you know what? We should add some more smoke. Let's get this guy that everyone hates. I don't get it.
I was Beef Wolf always brings up how one of the biggest problems of Rick Hahn when he was the GM for the White Sox was how awful his mid-level free agents were, right? It's like, hey, obviously we know that the White Sox aren't going to be the big spenders in free agency. So how good are you at getting in like the mid-tier guys, right? How often can you hit on those, right? How often can you sign a Shota Imanaga like on that shorter deal? How often can you hit on bringing like a veteran like Mike Tauchman or stuff like that? That's just a couple of like Cubs examples. Bringing back like Mike Clevenger, who last year also struggled with command, but hey, guess what? Baseball happens. Pitchers get lucky. They get into jams and we saw a lot of that early on with Mike Clevenger, where at the end of the year, his numbers looked a lot better than he actually pitched.
Yep.
And it's like, and like the desperation that it was like the sense of desperation. It's like, oh man, we've won, 2 games in the first couple weeks. We look like shit. Mike Clevenger, nobody wants you. Come back with us because I don't know.
Here's him too, though.
What a great PR play! This is a great PR play, everyone. We're having a story. Our fans already hate us.
True toxicity has a way of eating someone from inside, from the inside out. And if Clevenger, this might be what's happened to Clevenger as time has passed, and he hasn't made the changes to become a better person, and the pressure and the hate. And of course, his probably echo chamber that probably tells him he's just fine. And there's probably some cognitive dissonance about his own behavior and all of that stuff. And maybe there's some, maybe some narcissism thrown in there. If this is everything is true, we always say allegedly, of course. But the whole problem with this is that, you can't shine shit. So eventually who you are bubbles to the surface. And so I'm not saying this is who he is because it's just one start. But if he continues to slide and just gets worse and worse, this is him in a nutshell. And it'll show who he is. But then again, it might be just one start. I don't know.
And the season's already going terribly. Now you got the witch back.
Oh, shit.
Like, what are you doing, guys? We just we had her in the comments here. I think we negotiated a truce, like peace, and the curse was lifted, and then they go and bring it back. All that hard work for nothing. Thanks a lot, dickheads. This team, man.
And like
this damn team.
And like my bigger point that with Clevenger with that is like bringing back guys and like Like, what's the talent? What's the MLB talent evaluation here with Chris Getz? Because like, so that trade with the Braves, where you guys got like 6 guys,
Yep.
like none of those guys. Like, I think maybe one of the relievers has looked okay, right? But like everybody else, kind of sucks. Like Nicky Lopez is the best out of that group, and he's not that good.
He did go to
Shoemake
Eric
doesn't
Fetty,
look good.
though.
Soroka, I thought he was going to bounce back, but he hasn't looked that good
Yeah,
either. It's like,
his last
his Fetty.
has he gotten better?
His last 2 starts, Soroka and Flexen, their last 2 starts look better. Fetty's been consistent this whole season. That's why he's getting traded. He's played good enough to get the fuck out of here.
So the Fetty one is definitely a feather in Getz's cap there.
Right
Big
now,
hit
that's
on
the
that.
biggest.
That was a good move.
Yeah.
It might be his best move so far.
No, but that's the thing. Look, like, this is how low the bar is for like Soroka. His last start, 5 innings, 3 earned runs, 4 walks. Like, that's not a good start. His previous start, 4 1/3, 2 earned runs. Okay. Before that, 2 earned runs, 5 innings, 5 runs, 5 runs, 4 runs, 2 runs, 4 runs. Ugh. Chris Flexen, okay. Got something.
Okay,
Brad
so
Keller. Brad Keller had, I guess, a decent relief appearance. He started on Friday, right? Against the Cardinals.
Yeah, and it was
What's going on
bad.
with that? Why did he start and then he was like a bullpen guy?
Because they're trying to make it happen, and it's not going to happen. And he looks like he's struggling against the Cardinals. It looked like he was sitting in a pool in between innings. Like the dude just, I'm just no. And that's another guy that every like serious White Sox fan just hates that guy. Like no one likes it. It's just everybody just hates him. Like people were posting old memes of TA stepping over Brad Keller, like the Ty Lue, Allen Iverson meme. Like they were doing anti-Keller memes. Like you don't do that for the player on your own team. Everybody was doing. I was doing it. I mean, it was just like, fuck that guy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just
I guess
brutal
Paul
all
DeYoung,
around.
he's been, he's hitting home runs, so he's been on
recently.
Good signing for Cats, kind of. I'll put that in the plus category. If we're going bad or good, I'll go good for that one.
I'll go recently.
That's true. So Kevin, who are the Cubs trading for? Because they need a reliever at least, maybe a closer.
Well, that kind of comes full circle though with the whole Marlins selling off. Because aren't they already in talks with the Marlins for one of their relievers?
So
that was Cap, by the way.
But what came out after that? So
like
there's
how
the
the
Cap
kid
thing.
say Cap or the guy Cap?
It was David Kaplan. He has got his birdies too. Apparently,
Cap?
we got a birdie off.
He's got his birdies, all right, motherfucker.
But if you don't want to believe David Kaplan, that's fine. Jed Hoyer talked about it. I forget if it was during a game or just on marquee on a show or something or a different interview. But he was talking about how he knew of the Luis Arraez trade last Friday, not because the Cubs were trading for Luis Arraez, like they don't need another infielder, but it was like, oh, why would he know that? So you start to speculate. It's like obviously teams are talking, right? Like they know Marlins are bad. Mm-hmm. They have a couple good pitchers that you could trade for that are going to be free agents after this year. But if he kind of like went back right away. He's like, let's change this topic here. But it's like, if you kind of knew this trade was going to happen, was it because the Marlins were making you know that, hey, we're getting these type of prospects, so if any trade between us happens, just know that we have, this stuff covered, where now we're looking for a different type of prospect. So maybe those trade talks are farther down the line than we think. Hopefully, because the Cubs need bullpen help as soon as possible.
Now, go with me here. I do find something weird about this too, and I'll explain in a second. Here's me right now, and the Cubs have built out arguably the best farm system in baseball now at this point, right? And making a game shorter by having a solidified closer in that 9th inning, makes it an 8-inning game for the rest of the staff, which makes a manager's job that much easier as well. Just like we talk about Christopher Morel getting a couple extra steps closer to first, having a closer that is locked down, that gets the job done at 99% of the time, which is very rare to get, is worth its weight in gold. Now, taking into consideration perhaps a guy that does that and has team control for 2, 3, 4 years at a very nice controlled cost.
Try 6.
Six total. Is that what it is? Is that where I'm going with?
He's still a rookie.
Yes. So you've got it even better. You can trade some of your even a couple top 100 prospects. And here's me going, and maybe even some major league guys, but I doubt that's what the A's want right now. I'm going after Mason Miller. I'm going to trade a couple of high-end prospects so that I can throw that guy in the 9th inning and forget it for the next, 6 years and be done with it. That's worth 2 top 100 prospects and more prospects beyond that, and maybe something else, whatever else it is, a handy or whatever, but it works. I would do, if I'm Jed Hoyer, I look at that and say, look, the Athletics, they're starting to fall off. It's weird he hasn't pitched in 7 days, by the way. I find that weird. They're starting to fall off now. And they're building towards their possible Vegas. I don't know when we'll see when that goes. Vegas, change. They're not close to contending, but they can use some top 100 prospects to get them, and cheap, of course. 2 top 100 prospects are, in the bush, are better than 1 Miller in the hand a little bit for them, because what do you need a closer for if you're not winning ball games anyway? What's the point? So you can utilize your temporary, because they're not going to pay him after 6 years is up anyway. So you're at your temporary moment where you're like, F it, let's get a 2 or 3, 4, get 2 top 100s, guy that's fringe, really some high end prospects, fill it up, and then trade to the Cubs too. A lot of people told me I was crazy for that, but I really do think it's like, if I'm Jed Hoyer, I do that. And I then throw Miller in the closer role, and I don't have to worry about that role anymore. And to not have to worry about that, 6 actually takes me back a little bit. I thought it was like 4. But 6 years, even better, to not have to worry about that guy in the pen, because he just shuts everybody down. I mean, the dude's exceptional. He's thrown, what has he thrown? 16 innings, 16 and a third innings. He's given up 7 hits, 2 earned runs total, 4 walks, 33 Ks. I mean, he's 7 ground balls, 9 fly balls. His ERA is 1.10. I mean, he has had, he gave up 2 runs against Cleveland in his first outing of the entire year. Since then, he hasn't given up anything. That's a guy you want in the closer role. And yeah, is he improving a little bit? But you can see the stuff. It's already there. Like, this is a guy that's right there. I give up, and I pay. I pay up a little bit. That's the
Who are
trade.
the names? Who are the 2 top 100 guys you would give up?
Not Horton. Casey.
Okay.
I think Casey would be a selling piece. It would suck.
What can you do?
You got to break a couple eggs to make an omelet, right?
Yeah, on Casey, that's one.
And then I think you throw Brendan Davis into it just for the shits and giggles. But
who's the other top 100?
Top 100. I'm just thinking. You might have to part with Alcantara.
Okay, there you go.
How's my boy Ed Howard doing?
He would probably not move the needle for them right now. Yeah,
I didn't mean to let. That was more a laugh of sadness.
Yeah, because he's not been healthy and
not coming back from the injury.
I don't believe so.
He is currently, let's see, he's hitting 210, no homers, 1 RBI, 3 stolen bases in his first 62 at bats.
Is he getting a lot of playing time? Or?
Yeah, he's played in 18 games at high A.
Yeah, he's got 69 nice plate appearances, 69 WRC plus. Seeing a theme.
Nice.
He
he has 10% walk rate. That's something.
Yeah, he's young. He'll be all right. He'll be all right.
That is a guy who injuries hasn't played much. I don't know.
Right.
But he doesn't have much trade value right now.
Yeah,
I would love a Mason Miller on the Cubs. Who would?
Triantos might be a good one too. Maybe instead of Kevin.
Like those 3 guys are like starting the deal.
I mean, that kid in Oakland's got to want to get out of there.
Well, that doesn't matter to those. That's the thing I'm more surprised about. That's what I was trying to bring up a couple years ago. Is why don't more guys demand trades in MLB? And it just can't work. It just is.
Because the kid can ball out for the next 2, 3 years, 4 years, and they're never going to pay him.
Yeah, they're never going to pay him. Like he's not. Yeah, they're not. He's not going to get an extension. But
and
man, more than ever though, it's just like we've seen it already this past couple of years, especially this year. Those arm injuries are scary.
Oakland is smart. They trade him now. and get a nice, good haul back. And then they don't have to worry about what if he does throw his arm out in year 3.
Those arms are scary.
And we've seen a
high
lot of
velocity
high trip
guys,
digit guys,
especially. That's what it is.
A lot of the trip digit guys, the inverted W. That's showing up again.
That would be my main. I'm obviously with you, Kevin. Like, yes, if you can somehow work out a deal for Mason Miller, if the Oakland A's are like, all right, we're at the table, what do you got? Yes, but I that would be my main. Like, don't get hurt.
Yeah, but it should work out. It's like drafting Caleb Williams. It's like trading Justin. It's the right play, but you have to know that there's freak show things that happen. It's an imperfect world, and things don't happen. The best laid plans of mice and men off go awry.
Hey, why don't we do the this dude looks like?
Oh hell yeah!
So we brought back a fan favorite. It disappeared for a little bit, mainly because you guys didn't send us shit and we were all lazy. I don't know how to pronounce this kid's name though, so one of you are gonna have to pronounce it.
Fuck, I don't even fucking know.
Let's see.
First baseman for the Guardians. Just got called up.
Oh, there he is.
Kyle Manzardo.
Yeah, he's actually pretty good. Hello. He's actually pretty good in MLB The Show. But all right. I'm trying to think of where I want to start.
It starts with
in division rival.
Division rival, which makes it even better.
Channel the heat.
This dude looked like he was in an 80s commercial for Grey Poupon.
This dude looks like he drives an ice cream truck around the neighborhood, and he always yells, "Popsicles, get him right here."
This guy is definitely the baritone in a barbershop quartet.
This guy looks like he got into Cody Bellinger's weed stash.
This guy definitely played backup drums for his high school marching band.
Backup drums.
Only when that one guy gets sick.
Oh, this guy looks like he lived in a van down by the river.
This guy looks like he has every single video memorized of "You Might Be a Redneck If."
This guy looks like he sings along to Ed Sheeran.
This guy has definitely shot frogs off of a lawn chair with a shotgun. I've done that.
This guy looks like he's fucked a frog.
This guy's definitely ribbit. Most people lick toes. Kyle Manzardo.
This guy owns no less than 3 potato guns.
This guy definitely goes paintballing on the weekends.
Ribbit.
This guy loves kissing his sister for a long time.
This guy definitely wears a bathing suit that comes all the way down to his shins to hide that leg tattoo.
For a long time.
Really bringing her in for a hug at the family reunion.
He smells her hair. He's definitely like, "Ooh, you got new shampoo?" Oh shit! This guy definitely yells "Roll Tide."
This guy definitely covers Blake Shelton at karaoke.
Oh man, this guy has definitely told someone, "Listen here, if anyone's gonna date my sister, it's gonna be me."
Oh my god! I just found an even better picture of him. Hold on. Oh,
fire it up! Fire it up!
Hold on, let me see.
My face hurts right now from smiling. So Ribbit killed me. This guy fucks frogs. Ribbit.
Hold on.
Oh,
Oh,
shit,
man.
dude.
I've said it before. I said it. I forget who the pitcher was for the Red Sox when the Cubs were playing them a couple weeks ago. But
My
I
face
said,
hurt.
not like I know the mustaches are back and sometimes it looks cool, but not everybody needs a mustache.
No, not everyone should have a mustache.
And you are about to see why.
No.
Oh my god. This dude's name is Rusty.
Oh, this guy definitely cut a rap track and calls himself Little Wizzy.
This guy knows what the inside of a spray paint can smells like.
This guy's definitely hollers at. Never mind, I can't.
Shout out Washington State.
Jeez, oh Pete, I can't even say it. It's too.
This guy has definitely asked a girl to smell his rag. Smell this rag real quick.
Sex with this guy makes a woman agnostic.
Ribbit. Oh, yeah, man.
This dude once went 4 years straight without wearing shoes.
This guy's allergic to peanut butter.
But he still eats it.
He has an EpiPen at the ready. Turns into fucking Martin Short from Pure Luck.
This guy wears
Oh.
basketball shorts as underwear.
This guy has a face for radio.
Oh, ribbit. Oh, look at that callback from earlier. Guy has the Ferrari with the trailer park home. I love it.
This guy doesn't say waiting in line. He says Q.
No, now he's British. He went from hillbilly to British.
He loves Ed Sheeran.
Oh, shit. My face really does hurt right now. He kisses his sister for a long time.
Shout out Kyle Manzardo. Congrats
Oh,
on being called up
Congrats.
to
Yeah, congrats. I hope you suck.
This guy's the reason God created the middle finger.
Oh my god. This guy has told someone to smell his fingers.
This guy definitely talks about the shocker way too much, but can't get the math right.
Yeah. This guy wears a t-shirt that says I eat ass.
He definitely wears the South Carolina Gamecocks hat.
Yep. All right. Well, that's what
This guy's the human
that's what
version
this,
of the cramps.
the show. Shout out to Kyle Manzardo.
that is this guy looks like for this week. Yeah. I need a minute to
Ribbit.
the ribbon was great, and then when Aldo goes, yeah, for a long time.
Had to make that part clear.
We're gonna get beat up because of this segment.
Manzardo's gonna show up at our house where we're like, stand out there in the sun without sunscreen, bitch.
Kyle Manzardo kind of sucks, huh? Over 7, 5 strikeouts.
Good.
Career over.
Good.
Career
So
over.
if he tries to punch us, he'll miss.
Good, because he's the type of guy that says send nudes after 2 texts. Oh my god, that was good. We need to do that every week.
Yeah,
I don't-
you guys need to keep sending us. We need.
How
we need
tall is he,
inspiration.
Aldo?
Let's see. Manzardo is 6 foot, 205 pounds.
He's 6 foot flat.
That's what it says. So, he's shorter. He's like 5'10".
Bring it, you little bitch.
Get him.
He's not 6'2" like me and Carlos Correa. I got this, dude. I got this, dude. I don't even know if we can keep going after that.
I don't know, because that guy
Might-
looks like what a basset hound sounds.
Oh,
What a name,
Oh.
too. I remember looking at the picture when we got tagged in it. Let's shout out the Twitter handle.
what was it? Fitz?
Born to Run
Was-
99.
Born
Shout
to
out
Run
to him. I
99.
remember looking. I didn't really pay attention to the name. What a name! Called Manzardo.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Wow.
Probably goes by like I'm the Z-Man or something.
Good finding of that
Yeah.
second pitcher.
Well done with that nugget.
And just so you all know, I wanted to do Pete Crow-Armstrong's new pitcher, but I got vetoed.
All right, well, too much
wanna
hate.
put it on there?
Drinking too much haterade over here.
Dude, homeboy had white flames on the bottom of his black pants.
He was showing Derek Rose some love. You didn't like his shirt?
You was throwing a throwback Derek Love.
The shirt was the only good thing about it. First of all, it was 80 degrees out, and he had a beanie on.
It was cold.
No, it's like 80 degrees.
Oh.
No, on Monday?
It's been very hot up here.
Oh. That's 5 days ago. That's him with a bandana over his blue. Oh, his hair's blue again? Or did it always been blue? I thought he dyed it back. But what's he gonna dye it back?
It looked blonde the other day.
Where is that picture though? I need to see that picture now. I typed in Derek Rose, Pete Crow-Armstrong, but that didn't work. I don't see it. Damn it. Where is it?
Where are the White Sox playing next? Zoe, did you stop betting against the White Sox? What happened there?
No, we're eating over here.
Okay.
We're eating. And the frustration is,
But how much more money are you going to lose on betting Andrew Vaughn home runs though? Because you keep betting it.
that
He had a double. He had a double tonight.
I stopped that after dropping $75, 3 $25 bets. And he started fucking with me, man. He kept hitting to the track. I'm like, bro, like this is not even cool, man. Guy just
You know he's gonna hit a home run. You're gonna want to bet it the next game, and he's just gonna go on another homerless streak.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I totally thought he was gonna hit one today because I didn't bet it today.
He had a double, but I don't know how if
it wasn't. It wasn't. No.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I just completely lost my train of thought. Yeah. Where was I going to go? Oh, who do the White Sox have next? We're all about facts and being accurate here.
By the way, Shohei Ohtani's still pretty good. Kind of hate it.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Dodgers
he's
are
really
fire.
good.
Dodgers are on fire.
No, it's Shohei Ohtani's on fire. That's a we go as he goes type deal.
Did you see last night they did a no-hit watch against the Marlins?
That was funny as hell.
To open the game, it was a no-hitter watch.
Ooh, 4 games against Cleveland. We're gonna go up against your boy Manzardo.
Bring it, you little 6-foot bitch. Home too. I might actually try to go to one. And then
You gotta start. You gotta like make a sign. Be like, you like frogs or something.
It just says ribbit.
I was just gonna make that say. I was just making a sign that just says ribbit.
Ribbit.
Like
frog hat,
sister or frog.
Yeah, so they got Cleveland on the south side for 4. Then Washington. The Nationals have been sneaky good.
They have been.
Nationals on the south side for 3, and then
Yankees.
And we got to go.
The Yankees.
We're going east. We're going straight east coasting. We're going to New York.
Oh man, that is a tough stretch right
Toronto,
there, man.
From New
then
York.
we come home to Baltimore for 4, and Toronto for 3, and then we go to Milwaukee for 3, and then now we're in June.
And then the
Play at
Cubs.
Wrigley. Yeah.
And then Boston, who has like the #1 pitching staff in Seattle, and then you get your revenge against Arizona.
There is just. I mean, literally, the first relief series is June 18th versus the Astros of all teams.
Right? Yeah, that's the worst team on the schedule.
Astros are brutal.
Oh man! Right after that, Detroit, who's been okay.
Well,
The
we'll see.
Dodgers.
Now we're months.
Dude,
ahead.
oh my God! You go Dodgers makeup game against the Braves. Okay, no, this is your relief series at home, June 28th through the 30th against the Rockies. There you go.
Okay, I didn't see it sandwiched in there between the Dodgers and the fucking Guardians, with a little bit of Atlanta sprinkled in.
Okay, and then after that, Miami. Okay, you'll win some games at the end of June, beginning of July. Maybe a little win streak saves Pedro Griffol's job. Okay, better question. Does he make it to the All-Star break? Pedro Grifol.
So our friends at Southside Behavior tweeted that out, and people started giving her shit about it. Like, oh, they don't fire managers in season. It's just,
Yeah,
but
they don't.
that was Kenny and Rick that didn't do it.
That's true. Ooh,
This is a new regime now. I'm personally surprised that Pedro's still here. I really am. I mean,
Can catch a flight.
it's fucking May 8th as we record this right now. They have 9 wins.
At the same time, do you think that Chris Getz is still keeping him around as long as possible so that he can always have a fall guy?
Maybe they have the only team with less wins than the White Sox right now is Colorado.
That's another franchise that's like, man, just no direction.
Oh, I didn't know that. Clevenger's pitching for the Big Bums tailgate. That sucks.
Wait.
drunk
How
people
is
are doing.
Shriffen with Clevenger coming back?
What's up?
How is Shriffen with Clevenger? Like I meant, like if Clevenger
He's been acting like it's no big dig.
all right,
Big deal.
like I wonder,
he hasn't like.
do you think he holds it back? Like let's say like Clevenger has like a huge strikeout or something like in a big spot. Do
My
you
brain
think
is
he
in
holds
such a
it
fucking
back?
pretzel.
You got a dick on the brain.
My brain isn't such a fucking pretzel
And
right
a worm
now. What?
was eating your brain.
Ribbit. I just picture this dude having a threesome with his sister and a frog.
Safe word is ribbit.
But I do want to plug, not a frog, but I do want to talk about if you're not going already and you're like thinking like, oh, maybe I should get to a White Sox game, go on Saturday. The Bums are doing their tailgate. They're fucking, it's such a good time, dude. Even if you don't even go in the game, like it's a 6:40 start or 6:10 start, so they can open the gates probably about 4 o'clock. Yeah, 4 o'clock. I mean, it's food. It's some of the really, really good food. The chef they got, that dude's amazing, and he makes like bite-size everything. Like he made like bite-sized tacos and bite-sized brats. Like it was awesome drinking food because you just grab it, boom, gone. But you see everybody that you interact with on Twitter on these shows. Everyone's there. I am not going to be there this Saturday, but
they should do a White Sox Twitter milkshake contest. Beat the campfire milkshake with your own milkshake. What is and then they should put whiskey in it. Sorry.
They call that. Have you ever been in Nashville?
Alcoholic milkshakes are great.
Yeah, they call it the bush. They call it the bushwhacker.
I was just thinking about something. I was looking at the calendar, the schedule, and then thinking about the All-Star game. Let's say Eric Fetty is like the All-Star representative, but then he gets traded before the All-Star game. Do like teams then just not get an All-Star representative? I think it's happened before, but I can't remember what happens.
They just put somebody on there, don't they? I thought they have to have somebody.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. Like, do they then just like, all right, well, somebody has to make it.
Andrew Vaughn, he's a good clubhouse guy.
Tommy Pham.
Fucking Pham.
Zhang.
The PH.
Like, think right now, so who would be, besides Fetty, who would be like an all-star on the White Sox?
Like right now?
Yeah, like
Eloy, I guess. That'd actually help them win.
Eloy's no. Eloy's
no.
You see Eloy because he hits home runs. You know what I mean? Like
it'd be fun in the home run derby. He'd get hurt though.
He'd definitely get hurt.
Robert comes back, has a hot June.
It'd probably be DeJong or one of the. Can't put Kopech in there.
Jordan Leisure,
maybe. Seriously,
right. Blake,
not great.
Are you still trying to? Can you have they given you the option to cash out?
No, I
Are they like, fuck you, buddy? You made your bed. Sleep in it.
I check it. Oh man! All right, you guys ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody? It's Thursday.
Oh, you should have kept doing it for like a 2 minute. We could have done the entire intro.
Baloney, I strongly suggest, even if you want to skip all the other shit, watch the "This Guy Looks Like" segment because my face still hurts from laughing.
Yeah, that's him. But that's not the original pick either. There's just two.
You will understand why we laugh when anyone says the word ribbit.
Never eat frog legs the same.
Yeah.
Well, you started a ribbit chant at
Oh,
the game.
I was actually just telling everybody that they need to go to the game on Saturday to go to your tailgate because they're fucking awesome.
and you need to have a milkshake off. People to invent better milkshakes than the chocolate, the campfire milkshake.
That and I want to see a milkshake bring all the boys to the yard contest.
Yeah.
Because of all the super little people we had in White Sox Twitter. We should have a slam dunk contest because everyone's under 6 foot.
So lower the rims and shit. Fucking those things you hung on your door when you were a kid. Just put it on the doorknob, that would be fine. Did you know that Danny DeVito is only like a couple inches taller than Peter Dinklage? I didn't realize it was that close, but they're like
isn't he? He's like 4'8", isn't he? Or like 10?
Like 4'7", and like Dinklage is like 4'5" or 4'4". Like they're almost like the same height. And I got into a DeVito thing this week in class because we were watching Barbie and his wife was in it. Whatever.
Well, he also has the age
milkshake
thing
from.
where
Yeah, see, this is what I want to hear.
just drink it.
Have it ready by the end of June, the June 23rd or 22nd, whatever. That's when I'm
Broadway. It's like the Broadway Brew House or whatever in Nashville. It's the last bar on Broadway. They serve something called the Bushwhacker, and it's literally a boozy milkshake. You drink it to start your day when you're in Nashville, and because it's not what alcohol do they do? 151.
Oh, nice.
And it's in like that machine. Here. It's like in the machine that makes like horchata and shit, like the thing that spins, and it just keeps mixing it. And you just watch them; they just pour full bottles in there, and then it's like a Slurpee milkshake combo.
We have a place here called Black Tap that does like a bunch, and they put like one of them has like cake in it. But it's alcohol. And then Holstein's another place does it really well too. But
God damn it! Now I want a milkshake.
The thing is though, like. Drinking boozy milkshakes sounds like such a horrible idea because
you could have one. You're one and done.
Yeah,
you try to like
you do two, you're gonna be shitting your brains out.
Oh my god,
But I love that idea. Like, I mean, yeah, you have to. I'll say this: I've had friends that have nothing to do with baseball. They watch hockey. They don't care about. They're not even from Chicago. They're nothing in that sense. Asked me about the fucking milkshake, the campfire milkshake. It's become an iconic.
It was the biggest White Sox star in April.
It's the biggest off-season pickup.
Yep.
No, but seriously, folks, if you've made it this far, 2 hours into the show, and you're still listening to us talk, that means you're pretty diehard, and you should go to if you have the means and the time, go to the game on Saturday. Show up a couple hours early. Go show some love to our guys, the Bums. I'm telling you, the food. I don't even know what the menu is, but it's going to be on point because the dude killed it last time. It was pretty cool that. John gave them a shout out on the broadcast.
Yeah.
I saw that. See, he does shit like that. I think the dude's dope.
He's trying.
Like,
he's trying too hard. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Also, shout out to all of those that are being forced to listen to our show, tied up in a basement of someone in some sort of strange torture. For owing.
You can have all different kinds of milkshakes, dude. You can have like a whiskey milkshake, a mojito milkshake.
What about an alcoholic mojito? That'd be pretty great. Oh wait,
this fucking guy.
You know what is orange dreamsicle? Boozy. Let's go there. Have you guys had the new Wendy's dreamsicle frosty?
No, I have not.
It'll change your life.
Could you put booze in it?
You probably can. You could just like put like
that's
a bottle, put a bottle in a vodka down about in the middle. Just like make a little hole out, and then you just want to. With the bottle.
Hey now.
And
hey now.
You just want to
that's when because as you guys know, I am a Red Bull connoisseur.
Yeah.
And they have their new summer flavor out. It's very good. Tastes like strawberry Sour Patch Kids.
Huh. That's what I've been doing for like the past 3 days.
That's why all those
but also also though with those you got to test if it's good with vodka, and I can't confirm.
The dreamsicle you can, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, pretty much any drink.
You can also mix it with a frog for sex.
or if you drink too many of them, it will lead to frog sex.
Could make some unsightly choices.
Drink this shit. You'll be banging frogs in no time.
Frog kebab on your. Never mind.
Oh, that's funny shit, dude. That and for a really long time.
Oh man! I hope. What if he comes? If he come, I'm actually think we gotta. I'm sorry, Zoe, but Kyle Manzard has to become a Hall of Famer, so we can go back to this video
Play it.
and reminisce about the time he called him a frog fucker.
Speaking of frog fuckers, by the way, did you guys watch the Tom Brady roast?
I did not. I was not promoted. It went over my head.
Oh my god! It is other than Ben Affleck. It is one of the. It's the funniest roast that I've ever seen, like on television. Like
I heard
period.
they edited some stuff out, which is lame.
Oh
dude.
really?
Yeah. Like
What did they edit out?
The stuff they left in is like some of the stuff I saw was just crazy.
I watched it live. So what did they? Well, mostly live. I had to catch up because of the.
I think they. Yeah. I don't know. There was some of the stuff that Tom didn't like or something like that. I don't know.
Oh no, Tom told
the
David
big
Ross.
thing I heard was that they made one Robert Kraft joke.
Yeah, he came up with
like, stop it.
He just came up with stop, don't do that shit or something like that. It was nothing bad. Like it was nothing close to a Will Smith thing. The people that are playing that up like he was like, hey, knock that shit off. Like he's like, not that joke. The couple
by the way, not my go. If soft.
So Tom Brady probably read every single joke, and he probably said, "I'm not sure. Let's read the room." And then Ross got up there and started telling the joke. And Jeffrey Ross has obviously got no filter, which is great. And he kind of maybe he felt the room a little bit. He was like, "I don't know, knock that shit." Like he was, but he knew there was a couple times during the whole event where they'd like, I wrote that joke. Like they knew the jokes. A lot of the jokes were pre-written, obviously mostly pre-written. So there was approval there, or there was probably something that was in there. Like, I don't know, maybe let's see how it goes. Cause that's how those things go. You kind of read your audience. Are they, you know, you don't want to get like totally like destroyed, but you know, who was like my hero for the night though, is Drew Bledsoe.
Did we do the 9/11 joke?
Absolutely
see, this is what I was talking about.
Hysterical.
Live was live, but since then they've edited the Kardashian booing and clip jokes for time.
Oh, they edited I mean, she was fine. They made fun of her a little bit too, but the funniest shit's like I mean, with Edelman was pretty funny. Peyton Manning was pretty funny, but Brady got him big because he's like, I know, you know, thank you, everything, Peyton, or whatever. He's like, and I know you live part-time in Louisiana and part-time in Indianapolis, but you live full-time in my shadow. And, you know, like those types of like hits, and they were fun. The best stuff, you know, it was really, here's the biggest Aaron Hernandez jokes and jokes about Giselle cheating on him with the karate instructor.
I was just going to say, didn't the one dude go like
8 lessons a day and she's still a white belt after a year?
He said Tom Brady hates is scared of the Giants. That's why Kevin Hart hosted. To do the show, he had to stand on the stool that Aaron Hernandez kicked out before he hung himself. I was like, holy, okay.
Oh,
shit,
the Aaron Hernandez.
Okay, see. That's all fair games. But then you can't be like, oh, we can't make massage jokes about Robert Kraft.
No, Robert Kraft showed up. You're fair game if you.
You're like, what is that, Tom?
He grabbed a microphone and spoke to, and he made jokes too. He also did a shot with Bill Belichick, which was pretty.
Actually, Bill Belichick the money though, and I was thinking about isn't Tom Brady like trying to like own a team?
Yeah,
people forget Tom Brady lost $30 million in crypto.
That's right. With that
one girl said she's like, I can't. She goes, Tom, I can't believe you fell for that crypto shit. Even Gronk was over here going, me no, that's not real money.
Gronk, okay, yeah. There was also it was weird. It was a boys club kind of thing. There was a lot of like gay jokes about Tom Brady being gay and stuff, and was one part.
He's back.
It was Gronk, especially gay. Like hearing Gronk say it was like, he spiked a shot glass for God's sake. That guy is so. Belichick had him perfect. He basically joked about how his diet was like fucking Tide Pods.
Somebody said something, and then the camera went to Gronk, and the guy goes, "It's okay, Gronk, just sound it out." I was fucking lost it, dude. I lost it.
Do you know where you're at, Gronk?
Yeah. I lost it, dude. That was funny as shit. Okay,
I might go back and watch it then.
I think I might watch it tomorrow. All right. For Fids, that's Aldo Amzo. For Frogs Everywhere, this has been the Pinwheels and Ivy show. My brain is still in an absolute pretzel. We'll see you guys next week. If you're going to the game on Saturday, tell everybody we said what's up. Be safe. We'll see you guys.